In a few short months, Flesh and Blood's next set, High Seas, will set sail into uncharted waters, and, for the first time, we get to cross blades with the Pirates of Wraith. And although this will be our first opportunity to enter the swashbuckling world of pirates in Wraith, their presence has been hinted at and cultivated for years. So grab your cutlasses and hoist the Jolly Roger as we dive into a brief history of pirates in Flesh and Blood. The first sighting of a pirate in Flesh and Blood is hotly debated by scholars. It is believed by some that the figure depicted in the art on Overflex from Tales of Aria is indeed the first pirate revealed in the world of Wraith. His comfortable, loose-fitting clothes harken back to those worn by real-life pirates. Couple this with the sea monster carving through the raging waters in the background, and it's easy to see why some believe that this represents the first pirate sighting in Flesh and Blood. However, detractors argue that the presence of rocks in the foreground seem to indicate a river setting, and the fact that the figure has no explicit visual ties to piracy makes it easy to understand why some doubt that this is the first indication of pirates in the world of Wraith. However, our next glimpse at pirates in the world of Flesh and Blood leaves absolutely no doubt to their existence in the game, as 2 years later, the set Outsiders released to the world. It was the set that took us to the region known as the Pits, an underground city rife with backstabbing and skullduggery. And it was there that we received our first truly concrete examples of pirates in Flesh and Blood, depicted on cards such as Freewheeling Renegades, Wreck Havoc, and most notably, Trench of Sunken Treasure, the Ranger Equipment chest piece. This piece of Ranger equipment, alongside of Quiver of Abyssal Depths, lends credence to the idea that Overflex is indeed depicting a pirate, all of which being Ranger cards. Overall, it's quite obvious to see that Outsiders introduced pirates in earnest in Flesh and Blood. One could even argue that the game's first pirate hero was introduced in the set, as Legend Story Studios unveiled Riptide, the Ranger hero, to the world. As in Riptide's lore, it states, amongst the filth and ferocity of the pits, he's made a home away from home. He sometimes dreams of the open sea, of his time on the Kraken, trawling through those waves, plundering whatever the winds brought across their bow, chasing leviathans through the glittering icebergs of Tempest Straits, watching pirate hunters burn on Griefer's Reef. It was a fine life while it lasted. And while we can see some ancillary connections to pirates in generic cards from the set, the most notable, as we've mentioned, are in the Ranger class. This trend continued in heavy hitters, with the Ranger instant Reel In, depicting a crew of pirates battling a kraken from the deep. Again, another Ranger card showing pirates in the game of Flesh and Blood. And of course, this is not by accident, as I believe Ranger will be one of the featured classes in the upcoming High Seas set. The groundwork has been laid for years already that Ranger is inexorably tied to pirates. But Legend Story Studios did not stop hinting at pirates with heavy hitters, because later that year, the set Rosetta showed multiple cards with pirates in the foreground or the background. As you can see in the majestic Cut Through the Facade, a generic attack depicting a pirate slicing through what appears to be a necromancer. Does this illustration indicate that Necromancer, a class long since hinted at by Legend Story Studios, will indeed be making its debut in High Seas? Some pirate scholars say yes. And to back up their claims, they often point to the illustration on Call to the Grave, a generic action showing what appears to be a necromancer raising the long-past army from the depths of the ocean. Are these undead warriors truly pirates? Some would argue no, as plate armor was never worn by seafaring pirates. However, the fact that both of these cards come from the same set seems to point towards a connection between pirate and necromancer. And the final hint from Rosetta, Truce, hides a crucial detail: a skull and crossbones on an eye patch in the corner of the illustration, along with what appears to be a treasure map with a dotted line tracing from one coastline to another. These three cards could be hinting towards what we can expect in high seas: pirates and necromancers. That takes us to our most recent sightings of pirates in Flesh and Blood, found in the Hunted set earlier this year. For example, Nip at the Heels shows us a pirate with two left feet being dragged under by a crab creature of some sort, the two left-footed pirate being a subtle nod towards Pirates of the Caribbean character Left Foot Lewis. Pirates can also be seen on the majestic Dual Threat, as what appears to be two warriors face off against a mob of angry raiders, wielding cutlasses and wearing trichomes. And of course, the most definitive look at a pirate since Trench of Sunken Treasure, Shelter from the Storm, depicts pirates disembarking from their ship in search of an oasis from the rain. So what can we expect from High Seas? It is clear that we will receive more support for the Ranger class. It has been inexorably tied to pirates since the beginning of the game. But what other classes do you expect to find in the set? Will Warrior or Necromancer be featured? Will this be another opportunity for Brute to take a step forward? Keep in mind that when the set was revealed, Legend Story Studios pointed to 3 characters in their reveal text, stating, "Whether ye be a fresh-faced landlubber, salty old sea captain, or sneaky stowaway, the loot is yours for the plundering." If they followed their previous patterns, these could be pointing to the classes or heroes that we will be seeing very soon. So what class or hero do you expect? Or what do you hope for? Leave a comment down below. And if you enjoy this video, make the number go to the other number so that you can sail with me on the seas once again. May fair winds be with you.